Because this right here is one of those seismic, earth-shattering moments we're going to be dissecting in barrooms, on podcasts, and in history books years from now. Luis Robert Jr., this isn't a Photoshop job. This isn't some fever dream from a diehard fanboy. This isn't a midnight Twitter thread gone viral. It's real. It's official. It's the kind of blockbuster trade that sends shockwaves through the entire MLB universe, rewriting the script for power, prestige, and pure dominance. Luis Robert Jr. is now a Los Angeles Dodger. I'm speaking to you not just as a commentator, but as a lifelong baseball junkie who's bled Dodger blue since I could walk, tracking every whisper, every insider leak, every clandestine meeting in the front office shadows. And let me tell you with zero exaggeration, this isn't just another off-season swap. This is a declaration of war. A manifesto from the throne of champions. While the rest of the league assumed the Dodgers, fresh off their World Series glory, would play it safe, hunker down, patch up the edges, coast on their laurels, the front office flipped the script. They went nuclear. They struck like lightning. Because true titans don't rest on their haunches. They pounce. They devour. And that's precisely what happened here. The Chicago White Sox, drowning in a sea of mediocrity, slammed the panic button. Full throttle rebuild mode. No compromises, no illusions. When a franchise hits rock bottom like that, it has to liquidate its treasures. Trade away the stars, hoard the prospects, endure the agony today for a shot at ecstasy tomorrow. And the crown jewel? Luis Robert Jr., the once unquestioned face of the franchise, a phenom with tools so electric they could light up Wrigley Field. But Chicago woke up to a brutal truth. This wasn't working. The rebuild demanded sacrifices. And enter the Dodgers, lurking like predators in the tall grass, ready to swoop in and claim their prize. This is the stuff of legends, folks. Controversy? Oh, it's brewing like a storm. Game-changing? Absolutely. And we're diving headfirst into it. Let's break this down step by step because if we don't, the sheer insanity of it all will overwhelm you. Picture this. It's the dead of off-season, the MLB trade deadline rumors are just starting to simmer, and bam, the White Sox drop the hammer. They're purging. Luis Robert Jr., the 26-year-old outfielder who was supposed to be their savior, their cornerstone, is on the block. What? Because the rebuild isn't just a phase, it's a full-blown existential crisis. The White Sox, once contenders, have morphed into a punchline, last-place finishes, payroll purges, and a fanbase in open revolt. They needed assets, high draft picks, young arms, anything to rebuild from the ashes. Robert, with his massive contract and injury history, was the perfect sell-high candidate. But here's the crazy part, people are furious. White Sox fans are erupting like volcanoes, flooding social media with betrayal, and how could you, posts. They're heartbroken, outraged, feeling like their franchise just sold its soul. Dodgers fans? They're a mix of euphoria and skepticism, pumping fists in the air but whispering, is this the real deal or another overhyped flop? The media? It's a circus. Headlines screaming, Dodgers pull off heist of the century. While analysts debate if this is brilliance or recklessness. And the league? Rivals are scrambling, executives are on red alert because this move screams imbalance. Why now? Why him? Was it a leak? A setup? The tension is palpable, escalating with every tweet, every hot take. You feel it, don't you? The outrage, the shock. It's not just a trade, it's a cultural earthquake. Alright, let's zoom in on the key players and teams because without this context, you're flying blind. First, Luis Robert Jr., born in Havana, Cuba, defected as a teen, drafted first overall by the White Sox in 2018. He's the quintessential five-tool talent. Speed that blurs baselines, power that can clear fences, defense that turns heads, arm strength for days, and a bat that, when hot, is unstoppable. But his story is a roller coaster. Early promise, Rookie of the Year buzz in 2020 with 13 HR and 31 SB in a shortened season. Then the injuries hit, shoulder surgeries, wrist issues, hamstring pulls. It's turned him into a boom or bust enigma. Career highlights? That 38 HR season in 2022, proving he can mash. Lowlights? Last year's .276 average and nagging doubts about durability. On the White Sox end they're a mess. Owned by Jerry Reinsdorf, led by GM Rick Hahn, they've hemorrhaged talent. Think Jose Abreu, Yoan Moncada, to fund this rebuild. Front office. Chaotic with whispers of internal strife. Fans? Passionate but jaded, rallying around prospects like Colson Montgomery. Now the Dodgers, oh the Dodgers. They're the epitome of MLB royalty. World Series winners in 2020 and 2024, with a payroll north of $300 million. Executives like Andrew Friedman, the architect, and Brandon Gomez, the tactician, run a machine that's equal parts genius and ruthless. Their roster? A who's who of stars: Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. Fans? The most vocal, demanding excellence, unforgiving of failure. This trade pits a rebuilding underdog against a dynasty in the making, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Now buckle up, because here's where the conspiracy theories ignite like wildfire. Was this trade just about plugging a hole, or is it part of a grand shadowy master plan? Think about it. The Dodgers have been circling outfield upgrades for months. Rumors of Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, even Juan Soto floated like ghosts. They tested the waters, probed prices, but nothing clicked. Then, out of nowhere, Robert emerges as the target. Coincidence? I don't buy it. Insiders whisper this was in the works for weeks. Backchannel talks, clandestine meetings, perhaps even tampering whispers. The Dodgers monitored the White Sox's desperation, saw Robert as the undervalued gem. Younger than Bellinger, more controllable than Tucker, with upside that fits their mold. Conspiracy alert. Is this a hedge against Ohtani's free agency? A way to protect Betts from aging? Or worse, a calculated move to tilt the league's balance permanently? Front office moles suggest Friedman had this mapped out post-World Series, using the title as leverage to demand concessions. The outrage from rivals? Is because they smell the manipulation. Rhetorical question. Does this feel like a fair trade, or is MLB turning a blind eye to superteam dominance? People are losing their minds over the secrecy. Why no leaks until the wire? It's strategic, suspicious, and screams of a bigger agenda. This is chess. The Dodgers just checkmated the entire league. Let's draw some lines to history, because patterns don't lie, and this trade echoes the greats. Remember the Dodgers' 2008 blockbuster for Manny Ramirez? That was bold, transformative, injecting instant offense and leading to a World Series ring. Or the White Sox's own dark days, trading away stars like Alex Rodriguez in the 90s to rebuild. Painful then, glorious later. This feels like that, but on steroids. Compared to the Astros' sign-stealing era, the Dodgers are outsmarting everyone legally, stacking the deck. League-wide, super teams like the Yankees or Padres make similar power plays post-success. It's like the Patriots in football: reload, dominate. Fans are raging about imbalance, comparing it to the steroid scandals. Rhetorical bomb. If teams like the Dodgers keep hoarding talent, are we watching baseball or a coronation? Past behaviors? The Dodgers thrive on these gambles. Think the Puig acquisition that fizzled, but also the Betts trade that paid off. This could be Puig Redux or Betts 2.0. The outrage is justified. It's creating a chasm between haves and have-nots. Time to dissect the roster implications, because this isn't just adding a player, it's reshaping an empire. The Dodgers' outfield was a glaring weakness. Andy Pages brings youthful energy and upside, but he's raw, inconsistent. Teoscar Hernandez? Raw power and a big bat, but his October struggles, remember his postseason slump? Are terrifying. Tommy Edman? Versatile, smart, a utility wizard, but injuries derailed him last season. Knee issues limited to 100 games. Enter Robert. He slots seamlessly as the everyday right fielder, providing elite defense, speed for base running, and power to anchor the lineup. Salary dynamics? The Dodgers are absorbing $12.5 million of his deal, but with control through 2029, it's a steal, far cheaper than free agents. Depth chart shakeup? This forces competition, elevating guys like Jason Hayward or Gavin Lux. Development? Robert's injury history is a concern, but LA's medical staff think the guys who rehabbed Kershaw could unlock him. Positional fit? Perfect, less pressure than in Chicago, more support. But the tension builds. Is this overloading an already bloated roster, risking burnout? Or is it the key to repeat glory? Roster implications scream dynasty building, but if Robert falters, the backlash will be nuclear. Let's geek out on the scouting report, because stats don't lie, but they tell only part of the story. Robert's 2023, .276 AVG, .297 OBP, .364 SLG, .661 OPS, 12 2B, 14 HR, 53 RBI, 20 SB. Solid, but not superstar level, below his pedigree. Career: .259 AVG, .320 OBP, .455 SLG, .775 OPS, 102 HR, 298 RBI, 85 SB. Strengths: elite speed, 80 grade per scouts, Plus raw power that could hit 30 plus HR in a pitcher-friendly park like Dodger Stadium. Defense? Gold glove caliber, arm strength to throw out runners, range to cover ground. Weaknesses? Strikeout rate, 28% last year, plate discipline and health, those shoulder/wrist issues could derail him. Projections? In LA's lineup, with protection from Ohtani and Freeman, I see .280/.340/.480, 25 HR, 80 RBI, 25 SB. Scouts rave about his athleticism, think a young Ichiro with pop. But the intrigue? Can he stay healthy? Dodgers trainers are wizards, they fixed Betts' back woes. This could be his breakout or another injury saga. Rhetorical tease, is Robert the next breakout star or a cautionary tale? Oh, the fallout? It's apocalyptic. Rival teams are in meltdown, Angels fans are green with envy, Padres execs are panicking about the NL West gap widening. Media circus, ESPN's calling it the offseason's biggest bombshell, with analysts like Pedro Martinez debating if it's genius or greed. Executives? Yankees GM Brian Cashman tweeted thinly veiled frustration, hinting at imbalance. Fans? White Sox supporters are heartbroken, organizing Save Robert petitions. Dodgers faithful are hyped but wary, memes of Puig 2.0 flooding timelines. The outrage is everywhere. Social media erupts with fix the game hashtags. People are furious about competitive disparity, small market teams like the Pirates are screaming foul. Rhetorical question, is MLB complicit in this super team era? Reactions highlight the divide, celebration in LA, despair elsewhere. Zooming out, what does this mean for the big picture? For the Dodgers, it's dynasty fuel, easier repeat, deeper lineup. Free agency? Signals they're aggressive, scaring off stars. League balance? It's crumbling, could lead to tanking epidemics. This season? LA unstoppable. Long term? Locks outfield for years. Conspiracy whispers, sets up deadline trades. Stakes? Redefines MLB power. If Robert thrives, it's imbalance. If not, backlash. So, was this too bold? Or the move that cements dynasties? Worth betting on Robert's upside for repeat? Is the front office fan-like or chess masters? If it works, outfield secured. If not, brutal fallout. Dodgers fans don't sugarcoat. I love the guts, the fire. LA on fire while MLB scrambles. That's hunger. Season's insane. What do you think? Hyped or nervous? Believe in Robert or prefer another route? Drop comments, debate. Subscribe for passion, Dodgers all the way.